Nerd alert, dork face.
I am not a loser. I just have a bad haircut.
Kind of a major dork.
Oh, nerds.
If you're into science, tech, or unique hobbies, you're listening to the right show. On Get Nerdy With It, we interview nerds talking about their passions. This is Get Nerdy With It.
Hi, welcome to Get Nerdy With It. And this is episode number 5. We're still fairly new and excited, though, to have this series going, the podcast going. And today we have a different co-host with us today, guest co-host Vincent Brown. How are you, Vin?
I'm really good, thanks, Jen.
You having a good week so far? I guess it's your Monday today, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a bright, sunny, beautiful winter's day. It's looking good.
Yeah, we just started. We had our first day of summer a couple of days ago here in the States. So I envy you, actually. I kind of like the cold weather. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And we have an awesome guest today. Very excited. Harley Johnstone, otherwise known as Durianrider. Durian, how are you today?
Very well, thanks. Very well.
Great. Thank you for taking the time out to meet with us.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. So you have a super interesting name. You go by Durianrider online. And
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, how you came up with Durianrider?
I traveled to Thailand a lot, and the first time over there in 2005, some of the Thai guys in the cycling club, they just started calling me Durianrider, and it sort of stuck.
Huh.
I don't eat that much durian, but I do love durian. More accurate would probably be banana rider or date rider. that doesn't sound too good. But so the durian rider just stuck, and it's a good way to introduce people. Go, what is durian? Is that durian fruit? And just gets people talking about it.
Yeah, so I was wondering if that was your favorite fruit or something. So it's not your favorite then.
It's probably it's one of my favorites, but my favorite would be bananas, or meringue, or mango.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the meringue fruit's up there.
Durian has a bit of a notorious reputation, doesn't it? I remember when I first experienced it, I didn't want to put it in my mouth because of the smell. It smelled so terrible. It was like burnt onions or something. But tastes very nice, and it reminded me of a little bit like soursop or custard apple. Have you ever tried soursop?
Yeah. The best durian is the one you have from the tree. You just saw it fall onto the ground.
Yeah, so it's ripe.
Yes.
I have a hard time finding it here in the States, durian, and embarrassingly, I've never tried one because I just don't see it in the stores around here. So,
where do you live?
I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. So it's a few states south of New York, where you're going to be traveling here shortly.
Yeah, it'll be there. If there's an Asian community, there's a durian being sold. But the thing is, the frozen durian I find is generally pretty repulsive. The fresh stuff, it's a bit like eating frozen tomato versus fresh tomato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can really tell a difference, right?
Big time.
Yeah. So you are, I guess we'd call you a health activist, or how would you phrase what you do? You're a health activist. You are a high carb raw vegan, low fat raw vegan, and you preach the good word about health and debunk all the myths and all the lies out there. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I've been vegan since April 2001. I promote the high carb vegan lifestyle, promote the high carb raw vegan lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I like to call out the myths and fads in the health and fitness industry.
Yep. Because
it doesn't seem like anyone else is doing that to the level which I'm doing it currently. And I like using social media to get that message out there.
It's true. It's the whole health and fitness is such a huge industry, right? And it's just such a money-making industry, and the wool is being pulled over everyone's eyes, in my opinion. And it's great that you're out there spreading the truth and getting the real message out. Yeah. So you started back in 2001. Did someone inspire you, or did you just kind of wake up one day and go, eating animals feels wrong? And how did it work for you? Or was it a health issue How did you get
Yeah.
into it?
Bit of a combination. I was at the Institute of Sport in Canberra doing some cycling testing, and had a friend of mine, Jonathan. He's a bit of a character and quite a good athlete, and he was a vegetarian at the time. And I'll be eating tuna at lunch, and he's just telling me where the tuna comes from and how crazy the industry is, and he just started talking a lot of the sense. And then a friend of mine, Jade Lean, one time he bought me a vegan burger at a vegan cafe, and it was really good. It's a good burger, and he's talking about all what's in the meat pies and where the chickens come from and the whole thing. And I never heard that in my life before, and I thought, well, I'm doing this stuff. And then one day I just decided I'm gonna go vegan overnight, and just went and never looked back.
Oh, that's great. 100%.
100%.
There's raw vegans, or there's vegans and there's raw vegans. You
Yeah.
call yourself a high carbs raw vegan. Is that because of the cycling element?
No, like I don't eat 100% raw food diet. I have for many years, but I eat 100% vegan diet. I don't eat honey, etc.
But why the high carbs?
Just because that's what humans designed to live on. Like right now, today I did 10 minutes of cycling. I just literally rode around the block this morning at a quite leisurely pace, just to wake up the legs. And today I'm just going to sit behind the computer all day for another 10, what time we got now? Probably another 8 to 10 hours. I'll be sedentary the whole day, but right now I'm drinking, in front of me I've got like a 2-litre half-gallon jug of pear, parsley, and water and dates blended up in a big, massive green smoothie.
Yum.
I saw the video yesterday from Freely on that one.
Yeah. So
The
we're
Iron
making more of
Maiden.
that. Yeah, the Iron Maiden. So high carb is, for me, for my mental performance and my physical performance and my health performance, high carb is a necessity.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's I started on this actually. I was vegan for a few years, and then I dropped off and started eating fish again, and then I went back to it actually this past November, and started doing low fat raw vegan, so high carbs raw vegan. And and I'll tell you, you guys have been very inspiring to me. So thank you for
Thanks.
that. Yeah, I mean, really, I've learned a lot from you all, and I just never realized before that the body functions so well on that. And ailments that I've had have gone away, and so it's really made a difference. And my mental clarity is a lot better than when it was before. So, no.
That's one thing, yeah. Like, if you got horses are high carb creatures. A race horse will eat the same as a show horse.
Huh.
The race horse will just eat more, though.
Huh.
And in Kenya, all the Kenyans eat the same, roughly. The traditional Kenyan diet is based on corn, sugar, and bananas. Very, very little animal products, very little fat. And so the teachers eat the same as the elite runners, and they look the same.
Isn't that something? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's just a traditional diet, high carb, low fat, in China as well, Indonesia. And once people get more money, then they can afford the meat and the dairy and the Western foods, and then the weight just piles on them, and then they start buying into the Western weight loss mindset modalities of calorie restriction, low carb, blah, 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 and just goes from there.
Yeah.
But,
low carb, high protein. It's completely the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then all the weight loss clinics and the
Supplements,
yeah.
fads.
The bars and all that stuff. It's interesting industry that's out there.
Big industry. Freely and myself, we literally could be millionaires in the next few years or by now if we were in that industry, because it's just so easy to brainwash and convince people. I could start getting on steroids and just getting jacked up and selling anything. Freely could sell anything now because she looks so good. We could just be selling bars that cost $5 each,
Oh yeah.
just made out of China and just cheap product. It's just a massive industry, a lot of money
There's
to be made.
A lot of money in it, and it's quite aggravating to me. It's just the fact that the wool's been pulled all over everyone's eyes, and we've been brainwashed since we've been babies, right? And poisoned since we've been babies, if you think about it. we've been poisoned with all the foods that are coming in and brainwashed to think the wrong way. And it's, I don't know, it's just disheartening when you talk with others, and people have their set mind frame about this, their set mindsets, and really believe, and they don't want to hear, oh, this is the way to do it, this is the way you should eat, this is, and your ailments are going to clear up, and you're not going to get sick, you'll stay healthy, and really it's the way to go. But anyway, I could talk for hours on that. So
we all could.
Yeah. Oh, so what do you consume in a typical day?
I consume in a typical day basically carbs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and carbs in between. I eat very little fat. I focus my diet on fruit, and if I can't find enough fruit or quality fruit, tasty sugary fruit, then I'll add in some organic sugar to my smoothies. Or another backup plan is like steamed starches, like steamed potato, yam, quinoa, things like that.
Yum.
But 100% vegan, always low fat, and fruit focused. Fruit is my A grade first choice food.
Okay. Do you do a lot of mono meals or?
Yeah.
Okay, and for those out there that might not know what that is, that's eating one type of fruit at a sitting, not one type of food at a sitting, not mixing foods up. That's what that means.
Yep.
Yeah.
So generally, most of my meals are mono meals or duo meals, where I might mix bananas and dates together,
Right.
or just bananas, or just mango, or just mangosteen. Depends where I am in the world, and depends what I get my hands on. The mono meal is my preference, but living where I'm living now with the awesome training grounds, I do sacrifice fruit availability, because in Australia it's very, very difficult to get good quality fruit, even if you can afford it. I mean, we can afford it now. I can spend $80 for a meal, no worries, but to get the quality of fruit, that's the challenge. So,
Is it
especially bananas in Adelaide? I find it's impossible to find a decent banana in Adelaide because they're all picked green, and then to survive the transport here or whatever, and it's impossible.
yeah.
Is it hard to find organic fruits and vegetables there, or is that
No,
easy?
it's not hard to find. There's organic
We got
shops
the best.
around, but
I reckon we got the best markets in Australia here in Adelaide.
Yeah, I mean,
we've also got I'm talking about the central markets, but we've also got the farmers markets. There's no shortage of organic food here.
but the quality is pretty low. Like the taste compared to the US is like conventional food in the US tastes better than most Australian organic fruit.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow. I wonder why that is.
because it's often coming from Mexico and Ecuador, which have better soil. So the better soil, it means better flavor.
Interesting.
So
That's really good to know. No, I had no idea about that.
like it's like even if you got the money, because organic's very expensive in Australia compared to the US. It's like all our US friends come over here and they're like, "How do you live here? This is like
No
crazy.
kidding.
It's like so expensive,
Wow.
And
But what about the GMO? I avoid buying practically everything American because they're so heavily focused on GMO, and you may buy something that's organically grown, but that doesn't mean it's not GMO.
Well, if it's certified organic, it's illegal to be labelled. It can't be GMO. I mean, it could be cross-pollinated corn or whatever, but it's unlikely.
But if you're organically growing it, you can organically grow genetically modified food, right?
No.
Why not?
It's against the law. It's against the law. You can't have something certified organic and it be GMO.
Yeah,
That's
I haven't seen GMO organic fruits and vegetables around here.
the only GMO food or fruit in the US is a variety of Hawaiian papaya, and it will be labelled GMO. You have to label the fruit. So that's the thing with eating animal products. With animal products, you're almost 100% eating GMO because, let's say, the organic dairy farmer, the grass is not enough grass to feed the dairy cows, so they have to ship in a bit of feed to feed the cows. And if you buy organic feed for your cows, it's so expensive. But if you put in a bit of if you buy some feed from a farmer who says, "Oh, it's not GMO," but it probably is, then you're getting a bit in the grey in the area there. Mm-hmm. That's what happens in the animal industry.
Yeah. How do you know this doesn't happen in other industries as well?
Because you can't genetically modify a banana or a mango and grow it, as a mainstream thing.
Yeah.
You have to buy the seed from Monsanto. So it's not really possible. I can grow mangoes, but I can't grow GMO mango because I can't get a hold of the seed. The seed's so hard to get a hold of. Mm-hmm. You have to buy it from Monsanto. You have to sign a contract. You have to do all that.
Unless Monsanto accidentally tanked your crop, like it's happened in Canada and other places. You heard about that with the Canadian?
Yeah.
The Canadian farmer got sued by Monsanto because Monsanto's crop tainted his.
Oh.
Yep. And there are extreme circumstances, but the reality is most of the grain produced today in the US, about 90% of the grain in the US, is grown to feed livestock, and 90% of that grain is GMO. So that's why eating animal products from whatever level is just, you're going to get GMO in your food chain somehow if you're eating animal products. Even fish now.
Even fish too?
The salmon and stuff. What's that?
The fish too? The farm-raised fish, I guess.
Yeah, the tuna are getting fed GMO stuff, the salmon getting fed GMO food and antibiotics and stuff, and the mercury, and there's nothing safe in the ocean now.
Wow, I wasn't aware of that. I did not know that.
And the thing with mercury is it methylates in the brain. It just stays in there a long time. It's very hard to get rid of. So fish is like really, it's one of the most dangerous foods to consume.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Just the mercury just stays in the blood.
Wow. That's scary. So I got, it's one, and the one thing I'm wondering even if back years ago, if, I don't know, something to me, like it just doesn't feel right to eat an animal, right? Or just to eat something that was alive. It just doesn't seem natural. And I'm thinking back thousands of years ago, why would someone actively kill this living creature and then think that they should put this in their mouths? Like, to us, as we grew up with it, so it was normal. But what kind of first humans would actually eat something like that? I don't know.
Hunger. You're hungry.
To eat something that's bloody and alive and gushy and,
Yeah. When you're hungry. I mean, you get a vegan hungry enough, they'll be going back to eating animal products pretty soon. We see this all the time. People try and do this like breatharian or calorie restriction or low carb vegan diet. You can almost count down the days and weeks or months till they're back eating what they used to eat. Hunger. Like in China, they had a law back in the 60s when the great China starvation famine happened. It was legal to feed your children, to eat your children.
What?
You could swap child with your neighbor and eat each other's children, and it was legal. Swap child, make food law, because they had a big famine.
When was that?
What happened? In the 60s, 1960s.
Oh my God.
Look it up, the Great China Famine, the largest famine ever in human recorded history. And what happened is all the corrupt Chinese government was shipping the grain to the US, Australia, the EU to feed a booming livestock industry. And so the Chinese people were starving and eating each other's children to survive. That's how hungry they were. That's hunger. And when you are hungry, you will drop your standards or you will die. And the human genetic desire is to live, not to die. That's why if you're drowning in the ocean and you can't swim and someone jumps in the water to save you, you'll just drown them trying to save yourself. Not because you want to, just because your instincts kick in and you'll be like just trying to push that person under the water so you can get above them. Not because you're a bad person, it's just instinct, it's drive.
That's a good point, yeah. You would do. You would push somebody back down to try to get above, yeah.
And then afterwards you'd be like, you'd be crying and screaming, go, oh my God, I just killed someone. Like, what was I doing, It's human instinct. And once we understand that, when we can go, okay, this is what we have to do to prevent that.
Wow. I never even thought of it that way. I guess it is just basic primal instinct.
It's primal instinct.
Yeah.
It's like you can't strangle yourself with your own hand.
Huh.
You can't.
I'm putting my hands around my neck right now.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
try it sometime,
I don't know. I think
Hey, Harley, changing tack slightly. looking at some of your videos, you have. Well, I was looking at what Freely was eating with her persimmons. There, she had like a batch of 10 persimmons or something, and she says, "Yeah, that's just a snack." A lot of people think, "Gee, how can you possibly afford to eat so much fresh fruit and veg? It's so expensive to buy," and people skimp all the time and buy a tiny little amount, and they probably don't even buy that much for themselves for a week. So is your lifestyle much more expensive than a normal person's? How much? How much more?
I can spend $500 a week on food just for myself. Easily.
Yeah, well, anyone could, but do they? Do you spend that much?
Yeah, often. If I want the good stuff, if I can find it.
How do you afford that?
Well, here's the thing, like, my lifestyle is more expensive in that the food's more expensive, but the rest of the lifestyle is a lot cheaper. I don't wear gold anymore. I don't wear aftershave. I don't myself personally have a driver's license. We live in a pretty beat up house in a nice location next to the training grounds. If I'm looking at the backyard, my office is in a shed, and the shed door's I can see it now, look above myself, it's just rusted out and it's about to fall off. The drink bottle to my left is a drink bottle I found on the side of the road in October last year. Most of my bikes are second-hand. Mm-hmm. My shoes, I use them for years and years. So I save money in other areas, but I'll spend whatever it takes to get the food I want.
So it's really about prioritising.
Yeah.
I kind of consider it also is by investing in what you're eating today, by investing in your family, your health, your family's health, and buying quality fruits and vegetables, and not buying that crap that's out there, that poison, then you're also saving on future medical bills. You're just I mean, you got to look at yourself and say, what's more important, my health? Do I want to be around for a long time? Do I want to live a full, healthy, vibrant lifestyle, or do I want to be sick, headaches all the time, miserable, and then if you're into the doctors, which I'm not, I don't believe in doctors, but if you're into that, then you go to the doctor and you get your drugs, which I hate drugs also, but and so people, you have to, it's, if you invest now, then you're going to save later, I think, personally.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do believe in doctors and medicine for emergency situations.
Yes, emergency, I agree.
Yeah, but for diet and lifestyle, no.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. If I'm in a car accident or some emergency, then yeah, definitely I'd want a doctor to intervene and help. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. So did your group of friends change at all when you changed into this lifestyle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it has to. If you change into something more positive, you have to hang around more positive people, because the group of people you've hanged around to get where you are today isn't necessarily the group of people that's going to take you to the next level. And we always raise the expectation of our peer group. So with cycling, I had to hang around different people to get fitter as a cyclist. Mm-hmm. And with health, I had to hang around different people to learn how to eat. I didn't know what a ripe banana looked like or how to select a good organic honeydew melon. I had no idea. And I only learnt that from hanging around people who already knew that skill. And that's how I learn. I just copy other people. Mm-hmm. That's how I learned to be a better cyclist. I'd go training, with people like Cadell Evans or Stuart O'Grady or Lance Armstrong or whoever, and just ask them constant questions to the point of them getting sick of me. Like, oh, this guy's asking another question, but I didn't care. And a lot of other cyclists that weren't at that level, but are still pretty close to that level, just hanging out with them. Just, what about this? What about that? They're just constantly bombarding people, talking like Doug Graham, and just question after question after question.
Nice.
And then you don't have the time for your old crew that you used to hang out with. It's not that you don't like them or whatever, or you disrespect them. It's just that you just slowly break away from that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you also welcome them to come and join your lifestyle as well. Like, I don't close the door at anyone, mm-hmm. but I don't go through that door backwards, but I leave the door open. So they're welcome any time to come through that door and join me as well, and I'll give them some tips.
That's great. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, and it's for me, I've foregone some of the other social things, and really try to watch who I'm around and what I do, and it has definitely changed my lifestyle and the way I interact with others. So, yes, I can see that. That's good. That's real motivational. Who, as far as the high carb raw vegan, is there anyone in particular that really inspired you?
Doug Graham, definitely.
Yeah.
I learned about Doug Graham in 2002. And I was in contact with him shortly afterwards, and he was always saying, you got to eat enough fruit, man. You got to eat enough. You got to learn to objectively measure your intake so you get enough. Huh. It's like, I don't want to count calories. I just eat whenever, mate, And then when I started being smart and actually going, okay, if I want to perform at this level and have this much feeling of vitality, I need to eat at least 30 bananas a day if I'm going to eat bananas, or I need to eat at least 1 kilo of dates a day, or whatever. I need to get at least 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day. If I want to feel good and excellent and strong and just emotionally stable day in, day out, sleeping well, training well, being inspirational, I need to put in enough fuel and never ever restrict my fuel intake. And once I started doing that, bam, just started growing.
Nice.
Emotionally, physically.
And
so Doug Graham was a big inspiration in that one.
And he wrote the, what's the name of his book? The 80-10-10 diet?
He's got a few books out.
Okay.
He's got the first book I read of Doug Graham was Nutrition Athletic Performance. And then his book in 2006 came out 2007, 80-10-10 diet.
Okay. That's the one I read. I didn't read any of the other ones. I guess I should. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, the good thing about Doug is his books are easy to read. They're like in layman's terms, and they're really basic, and he breaks the complex science and puts it out in a way that's easy to understand. A lot of people out there like Gabriel Cousins and that, and they try and make it so complex and so complicated that you never really understand it, but you don't want to question it because it makes you look like you're a noob, or you don't. So people have those books in their bookshelf, like Conscious Eating or whatever. It's this massive 2,000-page book with all this complex stuff, and just to read one paragraph, it doesn't make any sense ever at all. It's like art, like you got artists who just throw some paint against the wall and charge $10,000, and then you got artists who actually have this skill, like Salvador Dali or whatever, and they can actually paint something that people can understand and look at and go, wow, that's a pretty good portrait or whatever. So that's what Doug Graham has done for me, is just simplified.
Good, and
what works.
He's going to be over at the Fruit Festival coming up. Well, I'll ask about the Fruit Festival in a little bit, so I'll table that. So, also, I have a question about your last video. I watched the one where you gave the message about how someone asked, "Why is it so hard to stay on this diet, to stay healthy?" And I really love the way you said that it's challenging when they have this need to be loved and to fit in with the culture, fit in with mainstream culture and fit in with others. And so it really makes people kind of fall off the wagon. And the key is you have to love yourself. And I thought that was just so motivational. And so on that same note, with your videos, how did you get into vlogging? When did you start vlogging?
2008
Okay.
is what I did my first YouTube video. Freely had told me to get into it beforehand, and some other people told me beforehand. I was like, oh yeah, YouTube sounds like some stupid, pointless thing. If only I knew back then. And I was like, I don't want to own a laptop, I want to be simplistic, and I just want to be like doing my own thing. And then I realized that no one's ever going to find you. No one's ever going to be able to learn from you if you keep you private. So then I got a laptop, started doing YouTube. Actually, my first YouTube video was before I even had a computer. I was just using internet at the library. But I saw a Matt Monarch video back in 2008 where he used about 10 plastic bags to wrap up a durian. He wasted a lot of plastic just to eat a piece of fruit. So I was inspired to make a video to counter that. And that was my first ever YouTube video in Thailand.
And it was done in a library.
It was uploaded in It was actually uploaded in a internet cafe at that time,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but most of them were uploaded at the local library,
Oh, wow.
and then it went from
I know-
there.
I noticed in one of your videos you were, I could recognize you had a Mac. Was your first laptop a Mac?
Yes, correct. In February
so what-
2009.
And so what about your other gear, your microphone, camera? What do you use?
I use the camera on the Mac mostly, or I use an iPod 4th gen. It's like a $180 iPod.
Yep.
I have used a Nikon, a $300 Nikon camera as well. I've got a new microphone from Apogee. It's called the Apogee mic.
Right, yep.
I've used that in a lot of my videos recently.
Is that like
And that's about it.
over the head mic that? Because I noticed like you're working on your bike and it looks like the camera is kind of, I don't know, and the mic, and we can hear you great. So is that is that on a desk somewhere or?
That's just my MacBook camera
Oh, wow. Okay.
with the mic plugged in,
Okay.
and the mic just sits on my keyboard.
Cool. Well, it works well.
And what about your software? What do you use to edit your videos?
I'm going to do a video about this today, I reckon. I use ScreenFlow 3.0 on Mac.
Oh, that's excellent, isn't it? I love that software.
It's so quick compared to iMovie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I really love it. I can't see myself using iMovie ever again.
And so what, that is how you use that for the sound as well? How do you get the sound in the video? Because I just noticed one of the videos I watched yesterday, you were commenting as if you were replacing the existing audio, but you did it sort of quite well. It was quite seamless, and it was sort of obvious to me, at least, that you'd overdubbed it later. But you did that really well, and I was just curious how you got that into the ScreenFlow afterwards.
Which video was that?
Oh, it was on the something about the hub or the cog of your. You were closing up on the hub of your wheel, the back wheel, and
Oh yeah. So that was
the little cockroach on the back of the little plastic cockroach you pointed out on the back of your crank.
Yeah, so that was done in ScreenFlow, where you add a recording, and then I just spoke. I played the video over and just spoke over the top of it.
Right.
Via my
That's
MacBook.
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it came out well.
Yeah, thanks.
So speaking about videos, your YouTube channel, I noticed, has over 29 million views. Mm-hmm. Amazing. That's huge. 29 million. Does that just do you ever just kind of sit back and go, wow? I mean, that's...
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Wow. And then about 40,000 subscribers. So how did you work on building that audience? Was it word of mouth or, I mean, how did that happen?
Just trolling. Just looking at trolling, 100%. Just looking at what videos are popular on YouTube and sort of doing a few videos like that. But at the same time, slipping in that health message in there.
Yeah.
So maybe doing a video on the world's biggest zit or Python eats kangaroo. But then wearing my vegan t-shirt and having the 30 Bananas Day logo in the video so people get a subliminal health message there.
Nice.
Without even asking for it.
I know you've got Facebook and Twitter and the rest of it, but from what you just responded there, it's like a lot of your efforts are concentrated within YouTube, and the traffic and stuff comes from the comments and stuff. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah,
So you haven't got like this integrated massive network that's generating these hits for you.
No, I don't. My Facebook and Twitter, I don't even really know how to use Twitter that well, but I've got a link to my Facebook account, so I just post on Facebook and it goes to Twitter.
Ah, gotcha.
But YouTube's where I put my focus, really. Because that's where people can find you the easiest, even if they're not looking for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you show up all in the sidebar and, anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's saying
people
something really about the effectiveness of YouTube as a social network medium.
Definitely, because people can find something that they're interested in that moment.
Yep.
Versus Facebook, it's like they only find what you've just put up to send. But with the YouTube, they can just browse through your channel or in the sidebar and go, that looks like a topic I'm interested in right now, today, in this hour. And then, I find YouTube's just incredible. I wish I got onto it earlier, and I wish I knew the secret of YouTube about putting up regular content each week at least, if not every day, or just whenever you can. There was times where I'd go for a few months without putting up YouTube videos, and that just kills your channel. It kills your growth. It's like having a garden, and you go for a few weeks without watering in the garden. It just puts it behind.
That's a good analogy. Did no, I had a thought and just actually it just left my head. What the heck was it? I know. What? No, I was just going to ask, do you like the new YouTube layout? You know, when they changed the channels and the way they look a few months ago. Is that working for you?
I think it sucks, and I think the best layout was the old one. But hey, there's nothing I can do about it, so I don't really focus on it anymore.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think it sucks compared to what it used to be like. But then again, after a few months, everyone gets used to it, and you sort of forget what the old style was like anyway.
Yeah, that's true. After you see it for a while, and it's, it just takes users a little bit of time to get used to. And yeah. I'm sorry, Vincent. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying before when we were talking at the same time?
Well, I noticed that you're a YouTube partner, and I'm assuming this is where, with hits like 29 million views, that this is your main source of income. Is that correct? Or I know you do speaking tours as well. Like, I'm just curious how you generate your money. Yeah.
YouTube. Anyone can be a YouTube partner now, though.
Yeah,
anyone can.
Yeah.
Like back in 2010 and 2011, you had to be selected to be a YouTube partner, but now anyone can do it. It's great. Yeah. Anyone can make money on YouTube.
Nice. What happened? Recently, your channel got pulled just out of the blue.
Pulled down for 2 weeks and then put back up. No explanation given either way.
No, so, I mean, they never told you why. They just pulled it.
That's YouTube, in that it's such a big place that it doesn't matter who you are. Even there's a guy on there called Ray William Johnson. His channel got pulled down for a little bit, for a few days. So YouTube's just so big that anything can happen at any time. There's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, that's just a friend of ours. That happened also. My friend Christopher Rizzo. The same thing with him, and he had a lot of videos on. Not as many as you did, of course, but same thing. Boom. It was just, but his did not get reinstated. So
what did he do? His videos on?
He had them on YouTube, and then after that, they went away, and he didn't have a backup, so he just started rebuilding it and rebuilding the audience, and now he's cross-posting to Vimeo as well.
What was his subject on the videos?
Sorry, what was the subject on? I'm sorry. Tech stuff, Mac stuff, Mac news, tech news. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to get a shoe off this dog. The dog is trying to chew this shoe.
Ahead.
Just wait.
Okay, no, that's fine. Oh, my little guy is over there drinking his water, and he has toys all over the house now, because he literally is so hyper. Like, I can count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 toys. Like, literally all over the floor. There's toys, and is he good, Harley?
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. Good. So, what kind of dog do you have?
Was looking after. I've got a miniature pincher.
Aww.
And I've got a little Italian greyhound.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are so cute. Oh, they're so
cute. They're just sitting outside with me. They're laying in the sun.
Nice.
And good little dogs.
So your YouTube channel didn't just magically come back, did it? You had to submit a petition. You got a petition together. Is that right?
Yeah, I got a petition. We had I'm not sure how many signatures we got, 10,000 or 20,000 or something. We got a fair bit. I don't know if that actually worked. I didn't get any. I just got an email one day, your YouTube account has been restored, and
So it might not have even been the petition.
Don't know.
I'm hoping.
No way of finding out.
I'm wondering if it is. I mean, it's got to. I mean, if you had so many people signing it and the message going out around, I mean, chances are somebody at Google must have seen it. I'm thinking, and because why would they just all of a sudden reinstate your channel out of the blue?
Yeah,
right.
I've got a few contacts at Google, and people used to work for Google, and I got a few contacts there, and I've got my contacts, and they submitted a bit of stuff, but so I'm not sure if that was what helped, or it's such a big place
Yeah.
It sort of makes it hard to do the right thing, though, doesn't it? If you don't know what you did wrong to make your channel get pulled in the first place.
Correct. It's pretty hard to get deleted from YouTube. Yeah, it's very hard to get. Even if you get deleted, chances are you can get your channel put back up again. Most of the time, unless you do something like graphic, like if you use pornography or if you're do a lot of hate speech, like full on racism, then yeah, you're not going to get it back. But if your channel got deleted because someone at YouTube was a bit wet behind the ears, a bit new to the chances are that's what's going to happen to get your account deleted, and chances are it's going to get put back up. I know now enough about YouTube to not get myself deleted. I think I do anyway.
I was going to ask, do you think it was somebody maybe that, I think what happened to our friend Christopher was that someone got angry over something that he might have been said on Google Plus and posted something and flagged one of his videos as inappropriate, and then the channel got pulled. That's what we're thinking. But for you...
Did you get some warnings, though, or what?
He didn't get any warnings. It was just gone. Just gone. Nothing. And he never was able to get it back. And there was nothing risque or bad, or it was just tech stuff, and he does a good job with it, so yeah. But I'm wondering if maybe, because I know you call people out, right? I mean,
yeah,
you call people out. So I'm wondering if it's some of those people, or maybe one of those people that got called out that was pissed, and
maybe.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Even if your channel gets deleted, you can start up a new one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but not with...
So I've got like 10 channels up now, Yeah, you can't get your 20 million views back, but you can start again.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you have gotten that many views before, then you know the template that it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like if you're a farmer and you've got 5 years or 10 years of farming experience, and you have a tropical fruit farm and a big tornado comes in and wipes it all out. Yeah, it's a loss, but you know exactly how to get that farm back up again and running again.
Yeah.
It might take you a few years, but you'll be back up again.
Yeah.
Good attitude.
Even just like the Apple, right? When they went down, and then Steve came back and brought them back up.
Correct.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, and I know, Vincent, you were curious about this too. I'm going to ask this, but I'm stealing your question. Sorry. You, on your blog on Durianrider.com and Durianrider.org, same website, I believe, it says not even 5 lawsuits have shut this blog down. So what happened with that? The 5 lawsuits, what's that about?
Just people like David Wolf and Anthony Colpo and people just trying to sue me into suppression.
Oh. So they've really come after you when you call them out.
Oh, yeah. I remember I did a running race last year, and I got second in the running race, had a sprint finish, just got pipped on the line for first place, and as soon as I crossed the line, I just like hands on my knees and just puffing and panting, and this guy walks up to me, and he goes, "Harley Johnstone?" I said, "Yeah, how you going?" I thought it was someone from YouTube or Facebook saying g'day.
Yeah.
And he's going, good race, mate. I said, "Yeah, thanks," and I'm still puffing and panting. My heart rate's probably 170. He goes, "Here you go," and he hands me an envelope. I thought, "Oh yeah, mate, well, yeah, whatever." And so I open it up, and he's walking off, and it was like some legal stuff.
Oh,
from this.
You've been served.
Yeah, I've been served.
So after you finish the marathon or the race.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It just like within seconds of finishing this little local running race.
Whoa.
And
Nice.
so what I did is I just put it back in the envelope and said, "Oh, sorry, mate, you got the wrong person." He goes, "No, mate, I got a photo of you. It's you. Here you go. You've been served." And so I just threw it on the ground and said, "No, mate, you're the wrong person," and walked off. And then what I did is I contacted that legal, because there's a place in Adelaide that I knew. I contacted that lawyer's department and said, "Actually, can you send it out to me again?" And I know that them printing all that stuff up would probably cost another $300 for their client. So, and that's what I do with David Wolf and that. Like he's got this full-on, is it Barry Rothman, and this full-on LA lawyer to try and chase me down. So I just keep, pursuing it and getting to send stuff out all the way to Australia. And just so it costs David Wolf more money. All those fuckers who want to sue me, I would make you lose money.
That's funny. Well, I mean, really, because it's really refreshing to see you call these guys out, right? Because no one else does, and and it's just things that just, that people they have no clue about if you're not, telling the truth, right? So it's, because I think what David Wolf was, I know he was doing deer antler velvet and something else.
Colostrum, ant extract, deer placenta, black mica, add clarity, battery acid, a lot of toxic stuff.
Wow.
Battery acid.
Yeah, it's just called Add Clarity. It's imported from Japan over to the US as under battery acid. That's on the label. That's how they get it through customs.
Battery acid.
Wow.
And they sell it as a health tonic.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, he preaches this message of all this, I always thought before he was more like about superfoods, and I thought he was more of a raw vegan before. And
That's just for marketing purposes.
And that's marketing. Isn't that something?
100%.
It's crazy. Wow. Well, yeah, good luck in fighting these battles. I don't think they have anything on you. They can't get you for talking the truth, right?
That's right. It's freedom of speech,
Freedom of speech, yeah.
Even
exactly.
even recently, David Wolf did a talk in Australia, in my hometown here in Adelaide. And so what we did is we printed up some flyers, and we titled it "Questions to Ask David Wolf." So we printed them up, and I printed up 200 flyers, and me and a few friends, we stood outside David Wolf's talk in Adelaide, and we handed out 186 flyers to people going into his talk. Oh my gosh. and then Dave Wolf called the cops on us. As soon as the cops turned up, we just jumped in the car and bailed.
Oh wow!
So that's David Wolf for you.
Oh,
even handing out your opinion is he wants the cops on your ass. So guys like that are just total hucksters, just in it for the money, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
And anyone who goes against them, they'll just try and sue you or get you locked up or arrest you.
Yeah, arrest you. Yeah.
Just if I did a talk and someone handed out flyers at my talk like that, I'd go out and say, "Hey, what's this about?" And I'd talk to them. And I wouldn't call the cops. I'd be like, "That's your opinion, man. You're freedom of speech. That's your God-given right." And I respect that.
That's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, you're in a public place.
Mm-hmm. That's the proper thing. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion and their own beliefs, and and
that's right.
You handle it like respectful adults rather than I agree.
Hey Harley, if I may, let's change tack a bit more and get a little bit nerdy with some of your gadgets that you use, because you're a hardcore cyclist. I see that you're a really strong advocate of the power meter for using that on hill climbing and training. Can you tell us nerdy types who aren't really that knowledgeable about cycling, what is a power meter? How do you use it, and how does it improve your training?
A power meter is basically something you can fit on almost any bicycle today. It's a little device that goes on the rear hub or the crank, and it's got what's called strain gauges in it. So when you push the pedals, the strain gauges pick up the wattage that you're producing. Mm-hmm. So let's say you're a chef and you want to bake a cake, then by having a thermometer, it lets you know what temperature you need to set the oven at. So if you're a cyclist, you'll quickly learn what sort of wattage you need to be pushing out up a climb to get a good workout or to avoid overtraining, etc. If that makes sense. What's another analogy?
So it's not just measuring it's not measuring the speed at all. It's measuring the amount of power that your legs are pushing down on the pedals.
Correct. Because speed doesn't mean anything, really. Yeah. Speed's not important. Measuring speed's pretty pointless because you might have a tailwind, or you might have a headwind, or you might be on the back of a group of 50 cyclists getting towed along. So speed doesn't mean much at all. You might be riding on the flat or down a hill or up a hill. Speed means nothing, really. Power is everything. That's why.
So when a headwind comes on, you're looking at your meter going, well, hey, I've slowed down, but I'm still pushing out the same amount of power from my thighs or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not overdoing it or you're not underdoing it because you're looking at your meter rather than the speed that you're going or something else.
Yeah, so say what you're going to do is you're late for work and you live 20 minutes from work and you know that you can hold 200 watts or 250 watts to work without blowing up, without getting too sweaty, etc. Yeah. So the power meter helps you customize your goals. Like if you're going to go up a hill and the hill's 3 minutes long, you know if you sit at too high wattage at the start, you're going to blow up. Or if the hill's 30 minutes long, you know that you have to go a lot easier at the start of the hill and just try and hold that wattage the whole hill versus go out really hard and flood your body with lactic acid, and it's just so painful. That's why all the top cyclists now use power meters. Even on drugs and stuff, they still need to have something to pace against so they don't go out too hard.
Interesting.
So basically, a power meter, the biggest thing for the power meter is to prevent you from going too hard.
Yep. Got it.
Which everyone does. You put an absolute noob on a bike, they're going to smash that first part of the hill and then probably get off and start walking and go, But the hill's not too hard, they're not too unfit, just their strategy wasn't correct.
Yeah.
And so I've had people come out with me riding, absolute noobs, and they're like, I can't get up this hill. It's just too steep. I've tried it before. I've tried it so many times. I can't get up it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You just sit behind me and we'll get up it. And so we ride up the hill, and they're like, Harley, we're going too slow. And I'm like, I thought the goal was just to get up the hill. And I'm like, yeah, the goal is. I was like, we'll just shut up and keep riding. And this is too slow. But by the time we get to the top, they're puffing and panting. But the wattage didn't change. The wattage, the effort was the same, but it just catches up. So if you go out too hard at the start of the hill, you're going to be suffering. You're going to hurt so much, you're probably not going to do it again.
That's a good lesson. I have a spin bike, but I still consider myself a noob when it comes to cycling because I will get to the hill, and then there's always a hill that I'll end up getting off even though I spin all the time, that doesn't compare. And I'll get off and I'll walk the bike up the hill.
Oh yeah,
it's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
But if someone doesn't have a power meter on, all they have to do is pretend they're riding with, someone who's less fit than they are. And people might go, I'm really unfit, Harley. I'm like, okay, imagine someone who's less fit than you, who's just learnt to ride a bike today. There's always someone less fit than us. So imagine you're riding with them and you're taking them up the hill. Ride so slow that they could keep up.
Interesting.
And that's how you learn to go up a hill.
Do it.
And then over time, you get faster, you get more efficient for the same effort. You're going faster. So it's you're just going more efficient.
All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm trying this.
Or another way as well to do it, to get up any hill, is just to stop every minute for 10 seconds, get your heart rate down, and then go again. Or try and go at a pace where you can still talk.
Yeah. Okay, those are good tips.
It must be.
The power meter is the best investment.
Yeah. It sounds amazing. The most sophisticated stuff they had for bikes when I used to ride, which was admittedly quite a while ago, was a speedo or something. But now the gadgets are just everywhere in all parts of our lives. That cycling's no different, I guess. It's got a lot of things. So I was really fascinated by your video on the online service Strava.
Yep.
And which is basically a mapping tool that enables you to use a GPS meter or something. Is it how is the mapping done? Could you tell us about that?
It's Strava, Strava.com. Strava is basically like Facebook for runners and cyclists. So it's free. It's a free website. All you need to have is a Garmin watch, or a GPS-enabled watch, where you have that on your arm or you have it on your bicycle, and you just switch it on, and it picks up satellite reception. And then when you get home, you upload it to your Strava account, and it just shows where you rode that day.
Can you use a phone or some other GPS?
You can use a phone. You can use an Android or an iPhone with a Strava app on that. It's correct. You can use that. I don't own a phone myself, but I just use my Garmin watch on my
you
bicycle.
got your iPod Touch. I was thinking you could probably do it on that, right?
I don't know
You
if it
could,
has
but-
GPS.
Oh, no, it doesn't have GPS.
Yeah, so, but the phone you could, so
Yeah.
Strava's great. And then you can see where you rode that day, where you got lost, what was your time at that hill. Strava's is fantastic. It's really good fun. For me, it brings community to athletics. And anyone is an athlete. If you go outside, you're an athlete. If you sweat once a week outside, you're an athlete. If you
It's
got
interesting.
kids, you're an athlete.
interesting that it shows the map, like it shows you where you actually cycle, but it's a top-down view. You're looking at a map, and it may be a really, really, really steep hill, but you can't tell that. Or does it? Does it actually have the altitude factored into it as well?
Oh yeah, it has everything. It's got what climb you did that day, how long it took you for each climb. Because what happens is people upload what's called Strava segments. Mm-hmm. So let's say you live in Belair, and to get from Adelaide to Belair, you have to go up the Belair Road. There's a hill there. So someone a few years ago created that Strava segment, and it starts, let's say, at some traffic light, and it finishes up at the BP service station. And all you have to do is to find out where they stop and start is you just browse Strava for a little bit, and you'll soon find out the landmarks the segment starts and stops at. So when you ride through that segment, your GPS automatically picks that up. And then when you upload it to your Strava account, it automatically does it all for you. So you don't have to type much in at all. You just click a few buttons and all your information's there. And then you click on My Results and it shows you what you've done for the last few years on that particular Strava segment, on that climb. So it's fantastic.
Do you think Strava and things like this would actually encourage people to get out and get involved in cycling more than otherwise?
It definitely does for me. If I didn't have Strava, I wouldn't ride as much as I do in summertime.
That's excellent.
Because Strava's fantastic. I wish I had Strava and a power meter when I first started cycling. Makes things a lot more fun and easy.
Are there any other online services that you use?
No. There's Map My Ride, there's Garmin Connect, and they're good, but they're outdated. Strava's it's a bit like using a Vimeo or something else versus YouTube.
MySpace versus Facebook or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, LinkedIn or just Strava's where it's at.
Is
Not going anywhere.
Is Strava only for cycling, or is it for other sports as well?
It's just for cycling and running.
Okay, cool.
Or walking.
Cool. And you run a lot also, right? Or no?
Well, I run, but I don't run a lot.
Okay.
About 10 miles a week, 8 to 10 miles a week, which is not much in running world standards.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're doing all the cycling, so there you go.
Yes. In winter, I do about 100 kilometres a week.
Wow.
So not a lot at all. The average cycle commuter does about 100 miles a week.
So in the summer, what's your average per week?
Probably about 500 kilometres a week.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Bumps up.
That's great.
But even then, that's still not a lot compared to the average racing cyclist who does, probably 700 kilometres all year long.
Do you go rain or... Well, I guess you wouldn't go in the rain. You wouldn't want to ride in the rain, right? No.
Not anymore.
No.
I don't have to. If it's raining, I don't go. I just stay inside and eat.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to go. That's one thing that will keep me out. Sometimes I've gotten caught in those rainstorms, and not on a bike, but like when I'm hiking, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm out there and it rains, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to leave the house if it's raining.
No, I don't blame you.
But if it rains and I'm out there, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like the cold.
Well, to kind of shift gears just a little bit. With your different websites that you have, I noticed you have 30 bananas a day. That's one of your sites as well, or is that? Okay, that's what I thought. And is that a joint site that you and Freely have, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else involved with that, or is it just the two of you? Okay.
We have our moderators and that help us out.
Okay. And it's 30 bananas for everyone out there. 30bananasaday.com, and it's a great online community of like-minded individuals, people that, even newbies that want to get started in low-fat raw vegan, high-carb raw vegan, and they don't really know the best approach. I mean, and everyone's in there helping, sharing stories. It's a wonderful community. How many people do you have right now? Do you know?
Maybe 20,000 or something like that.
That's huge. That's great.
It's always coming and going though. Like I said in that video yesterday, it's like cycling. Or running. If you go to a race this year, like you go to New York Marathon this year, most people aren't going to be back from last year because it's just too hard and to go against it. So we get a lot of people on our forum who are like, yes, this is wicked, great. But then reality kicks in and the social pressure just says, no, can't do this.
Yeah, and then
So we have like 20,000 people on the list, but the turnover rate is huge. Just like anything in society that's against the status quo.
Yeah.
Turnover rate's just huge.
That's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Just like at the gym. Sorry, just like at the local gym, you talk to the trainers there. There's people coming and going every week. Mm-hmm. People sign up for a year, never come back.
Yeah, those people that sign up in the beginning of the year are the ones that make it so that the gym can thrive. They
exactly.
Yeah. And then
But what is it that you're actually signing up to with 30 bananas a day? Are you signing on to say, look, I'm going to eat 30 bananas a day?
No, you don't even. The thing is, our forum is we have it for free. There's no fees. There's no like $10 a month or whatever. We have it so you don't even have to sign up. You can just browse our forum, get all the information for free. You don't have to. We don't even want you to sign up. You just look at our forum and you get tips. So that's why we designed it, is a public forum where anyone can just look at it.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious about the title. How you came up with the title 30 bananas a day?
30 bananas a day represents 3,000 calories. Bananas about 100 calories, a large banana. So roughly 3,000 calories a day. And that's sort of what we promote. 2.5, 3,000 calories a day. At least, just so you've got the vitality to do what you want in life.
But you don't encourage people to eat 30 bananas a day?
Oh, yeah, if they want. If they like bananas. They might prefer mangoes or dates or, or rice or whatever. But it just sort of represents a high carbohydrate, high calorie lifestyle. That's what we promote and live.
So a lot of people are probably thinking that is a lot of bananas. And okay, so what if I ate just 10 bananas, 10 mangoes, and 10 something else? Even so, that's a lot of fruit. That's a lot of sugar. I know it's not refined sugar, but a lot of people are probably thinking, well, surely that's not good for you to have so much sugar. Is your pancreas working overtime? How is the body going to be agreeable to so much sugar?
I guess the thing is, we are designed to eat a lot of sugar. And you're right, Vince. That's a common question people ask. I get asked every day. But then a lot of times people say, "Oh, that fruit's got too." Like my friend the other day is, "Oh, Harley, fruit's got too much sugar in it," and he's eating a Snickers bar. and I'm like, "Man, you're eating a Snickers bar?" And he goes, "Yeah, but if I'm going to eat sugar, I might as well eat something I enjoy. I don't like the taste of fruit." I'm like, "Well, at least you're honest." But the thing is, with a Snickers bar, you got the dairy in there, you got the fat, you got the theobromine, you got the GMO stuff, you got all the the cholesterol and stuff in there. So it's sugar is what we need to live on, and the reason why sugar is so bad in society is because when most people eat sugar, they're eating a Snickers bar. They're not eating fruit. Mm-hmm. When they're having sugar, they're having a Coke, which has got phosphoric acid in there, and they're normally eating a Big Mac with that Coke. When they're eating ketchup, they're not eating ketchup on steamed organic rice and broccoli. They're eating ketchup on a heart attack grill burger. When they're having jam, they're generally having jam in a donut, which is 50% calories coming from fat. So what people do is they blame sugar, but because they don't want to admit that it's the fat and the animal products that are giving them the issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's processing and the refinement of the sugar. Yeah,
but even so, I don't think refined sugar is bad, personally.
Okay.
I'll add 300 to 400 grams, almost a pound of sugar to my smoothies sometimes. Organic cane sugar, refined sugar from the factory. I've done my blood tests with my hemoglobin A1C. I've done my blood sugars. I've done triglycerides for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Everything's always great. So I don't believe the hype about refined sugar. I believe refined sugar is bad when it accompanies all the junk. Like, I don't believe Porsches and Ferraris kill people. I believe it's the idiots who drive them at high speed. So it's the same with sugar. Sugar's not the issue. It's what people have with the sugar. And I've never met an obese person who eats sugar with steamed rice or who eats sugar with their organic banana smoothie. The person who's obese eating sugar is eating Big Macs and steak and, I love my protein, I love my sausages, and I love my milk, and I've got to have that cheese. And that's why they're obese. It's not the sugar.
I'm glad you brought up the blood test because, again, it's another criticism that vegans and vegetarians hear all the time is, you've just cut out meat from your diet, and how are you combating? Are you measuring what your intake of proteins are, and so could you tell us a little bit more about how often you do the testing, and what it is you test for when you get a blood test.
I do the testing every few months, and then I put up on YouTube, probably every 6 months. I test everything: testosterone, iron, homocysteine, hemoglobin A1C, blood sugar levels, hemoglobin, hematocrit, PCV, MCV, cortisol, DHEA, calcium, potassium, sodium, full electrolytes, full red blood cell count, just pretty much everything.
And how do you do that? Do you go to your doctor and say, hey, can you do this for me?
Yeah. And they're like, why? This is a lot of testing. I said, I'm a vegan. Okay, we'll test you then. You know.
That's great.
And do the doctors respond positively to the results?
2 doctors I know have responded positively, and the rest just go, yeah, you've got a mental illness.
Oh, no.
You've got an eating disorder.
Really? They say that?
Oh, yeah. 100%. They have to say that. For them not to say that, then that's an admission that what they teach and promote is possibly incorrect.
Yeah.
Not something any doctor wants to believe, because when they're giving out chemo and radiation, they don't want to believe that.
No, yeah, I know. Their whole thing is they want people to stay sick and get sick and make money off of that and get people hooked on drugs and going the wrong way. Yeah.
And so the 2 doctors who did say, yeah, this is really good, they were very elderly doctors, almost at a point of retirement. And like, wow, this is really good. Like, I wish more of my patients ate like you. And it's so hard to get my patients to eat healthy. They just want to get drugged up and get out of here. And, so not all doctors are bad.
Yeah, but because they're old doctors, they're from the old world where you were actually encouraging people to eat food that is good for you. Whereas now there seems to be so many laws to stop people from saying this food is good for you, because it's like, oh, you can't say that. You can't, you're making claims about the healing benefits of that fruit or that vegetable.
Yeah.
It's so messed up.
Yeah, isn't it?
It is. It's just, and my struggle is when I try to share that information with others, people don't want to hear it, and they just, and my whole thing, and so I give you like a million kudos for spreading this message, because my thing is that people get mad. They don't want to hear it, and they argue and they fight. And so if people are coming to me now asking, then I'll spread the word. But even my own family members, my brother, he doesn't eat well, and my parents, they've listened to me, thank goodness. But anyway,
Do you guys have kids?
No,
I do. I have one.
Yep.
Yeah, I have one.
So that's what I mean. Is even if you want to feed your child differently, then there's that school and your kids' friends' parents and your grandparents and your parents, and it's just this whole battle, against the status quo.
Yeah, it is, and and then I was speaking with a friend earlier today who's really trying to eat healthy and do the right thing, and he says, well, the thing of it is, his whole family is doesn't really eat too well, and he cooks for them, and he buys food just for them, and then buys healthy things for him, and it's really hard for him to do that, and they don't want to eat the healthy way, the rest of the family. So it's a challenge for a lot of people. But you got to look inside yourself, right? And yeah,
it's just like being fit. You're going to have constant resistance against the system.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So I wanted to talk about your doggy. What's going on? Is he doing all right?
Freely's just come back, so the dog's getting excited.
Hey, Freely. The Woodstock Fruit Festival is coming up, and that is a yearly occurrence. This is the 3rd year, is that right?
Yes.
Third year. Okay. Have you been to the first 2?
I've been to every one since 2011, 2012.
Okay. And it's up in New York, and so it is basically, for those that don't know, is this wonderful. How many days is it? 3 days, 4 days, something?
I think this year we're almost 9 days.
Is it 9 days?
Yeah.
Festival where it's all you can eat fruits, healthy fruits and vegetables, and these wonderful speakers such as Harley and Freely and Dan is going to be out there, and who else? There's so many people.
Doug Graham and I think Tim Van Orden.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Ann Osborne.
So a lot of health activists and speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, so people of all different avenues and experiences. Mm-hmm. So the dates are now it's 18th to the 25th of August.
Okay.
So it's about 8-9 days.
And let's see, the URL I think is woodstockfruitfestival.com. I think it is.
Correct. The woodstockfruitfestival.com, and we've got so far 514 people turning up.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a huge turnout. Yeah, there's a lot of fruit out there. So what do you guys are just going to kind of spread the message and talk about, I know I saw you were down for some cycling classes.
Yeah. What we do is that whole week I try and do minimal training as possible, just so I've got the energy to answer everyone's questions and hang out. And the bike rides we do aren't strenuous. Mm-hmm. Really, they're pretty. We just talk on the ride, you know. And if people want to go fast, then they can just go off the front, and I normally stay at the back and just hang out and talk. Yeah.
Well, cool. I wish I were going this year. And it's going to be amazing. Next year, I'll definitely make it happen and don't let anything come in the way. So
yeah.
And I guess we're kind of approaching our time here. So, Vin, do you have any other questions for?
I was really just curious if the Woodstock Fruit Festival is held at the same place as the musical Woodstock in the 60s.
No, but it's not too far off. The venue this year is actually incredible. It's the same as 2012. It's this amazing summer camp venue on this lovely sloping block, and it overlooks this amazing freshwater lake that you can swim in. It's just it's incredible setting. It's fantastic. It's a lot better than the first year.
Wow. I saw the pictures and the video from the one from last year, and it looked outstanding. So I bet this year will be even better. So,
oh yeah. It's going to be great.
That's great. Well, anything else that you'd like to share with us before we wrap it up?
Basically, if you go against the status quo, expect resistance, and don't take anything personally. Have fun and surround yourself with people who hold you to a high level. And if you can't find those people, just imagine they're around you.
Good advice.
And never skip a meal of carbohydrates. Eat as many carbohydrates as you want. Try and keep your sodium intake low. Eat 100% vegan. Just eat as much fruit as you want. Just watch my videos, learn more tips, and just go from there.
All right. Well, thank you. And everyone can find you online at Durianrider.com. Is that where you?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Durianrider.com or 30 bananas a day, or just type in Durianrider into YouTube, and it'll come up there.
All right, and then I'll put all your links in the show notes as well. So
yeah,
we'll
thanks.
there. Thank you. And then where can we find you online?
You can always find me at vintuitive.com.
Okay.
And everywhere else on the internet under the same name, Vintuitive. That's intuitive with a V.
All right.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
And for us, you can find us at getnerdywithit.com, and on Twitter, getnerdy_withit, facebook.com/getnerdywithit, and we are on Google Plus as well, which has a long number. So just check out our website and you'll see the link to Google Plus. So thank you so much for your time, and this has been wonderful, highly motivational, and I'm going to be trying to ride up that hill now with my bike and not get off the bike. So
just go real easy. Pretend you're waiting for someone.
All right. I'll do that. Yeah. I'll do that.
Pretend you're waiting for someone with $1 million.
Oh.
But if you get to the top of the hill before them, you don't get the $1 million.
Okay, then I'm definitely going to be able to sit on that bike with. But
you have to keep pedaling, but just go as slow as you can go.
I'll have to let you know if I do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it this weekend. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks, Harley.
Thanks.
Gee, Vince, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Get Nerdy With It. Join us each week as we interview nerds talking about their passions.
Oh, nerds.
And be sure to visit us at getnerdywithit.com.